Yo, what's going on? This is ISO, and we're gonna check out this Bungie Vidoc for a marathon. Um, I have really high hopes for this, even though Bungie messed up a lot. But we're gonna see. Hopefully, they don't fail us. All right, let's get it. Graphics look
Players
like a
want more
ton
challenge.
cleaner.
The whole point of an extraction shooter is that you're challenged to even survive in this world.
We heard loud and clear from the alpha. The world didn't feel dangerous. The world didn't feel lived in.
Tau Ceti 4 to us
Okay.
is this place that really doesn't want you there. And that sort of survival narrative really fits really well with the kind of world that we're creating.
The world needs to feel like there is something sinister underneath the surface, even when the colors are really bright.
You should not be here.
Yo,
We
the
wanna marry
graphics
the
look like
classic Bungie game
really
feel,
good.
where you are blasting stuff in the face and it feels amazing, with the sort of high tension of the survival genre.
If you want good loot, you have to go to places where you're taking risks, either risks from other players or risks from AI.
So we have all these tools now, Rook with Prox Chat, and the way the game works and sort of how tense it is. I think all those things work together really well.
You have another Rook.
I still low-key don't like how slow it is, but what in the world? I know there's some fast characters on here, but we'll see. I'm a bit of an impatient player, so yeah.
The Marathon ship is essentially a ship that we sent out from Earth, an Earth that was overpopulated, to explore and colonize a star far away that we call Tau Ceti. In a lot of ways, it's like the tale of humanity trying to go out into the dark void of space, find a place to colonize, and failing terribly at it.
Everyone's gone, something catastrophic happened, and it's not just their absence that's important, it's the things that they left behind.
The modern race to Tau Ceti all started when a mysterious signal came through the galaxy.
The turmoil that sort of ensues gives rise to all these corporations that were invested in this Marathon project, now going, what happened? How do we recoup our investment?
And then layered on top of that is the greed and corruption of all of the different factions and corporations and revolutionary groups.
I don't know, maybe even the quality of the
In our version
Vidoc
of
is
the world,
better
we
too,
send
like
people out
camera-wise.
Not just discover what happened, but also to collect from the things that remain there, and those people are runners.
As a runner, you're a biocybernetic mercenary who's traded their human body for a biosynthetic one.
You're not an unkillable god slayer. You are a mercenary, a disposable mercenary. You will live, you will die.
They are not people. You are the person. You go into that shell and adopt the personality matrix that is specifically designed to help you do the thing that you need to do. And you've been hired by these factions to come to Tau Ceti to scavenge it for anything that might be of value.
As a runner, you've left your body.
Invid's so broken, dog.
You've traveled light years so that you can have
Like,
access
it's like
to the ultimate payday.
With extraction
low
shooters,
risk, high
it's all
reward
about
is so
survival.
annoying.
There are other people who want the same things that you want, and it's up to you to best them.
Oh, that's what that character does.
But there's quiet periods where you're listening for the anticipation of something. Could there be another crew in the distance? Did I just hear a gunshot? Did I
Aesthetically,
hear
that new
AI
character
just
looks
alert?
pretty sick.
And then there's the loud, bombastic action moments where the minute something is alerted, the minute you're in that fight, now it's go time.
Yeah.
Players particularly pose a lot of danger to you. They can make a lot of decisions that you might find illogical and completely trick you into scenarios.
No, facts. That makes sense.
Sometimes the best loot box is another player that you see along the run. So there's a few different ways you can play the game. So one of them is you can play in group, both with your friends and also through crew fill, which will just match you with 2 other players. You can play solo, and you'll jump into a game with a bunch of other solo players.
In solo, I think the
okay.
stakes are a bit higher, right? You have only yourself to rely on.
You still
Okay,
have proc
okay.
chat, so you can call out to other solos, but you know, you are playing a tense alliance game where it's really up to them whether or not they decide
I don't
to
trust
honor or respect
nobody.
the
Everybody
alliance you
dying,
might
bro.
have created.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Look, you
It's all
can't
about
trust
figuring out
nobody.
what's your investment, what's your stake, when to get in, when to get out, and when to kill the other guy. Being good at Marathon is like playing poker with guns.
One of the things we've really focused on is making sure the
Only people
environments
survivors
are
on
telling the tone
the
of
people
what
on my
happens in the
team.
game.
We've
I don't
brought
trust
a little
nobody
bit
else.
of groundedness, a little bit of grit, a little bit of darkness, a little bit of that mood that kind of is necessary for an extraction shooter to feel dangerous.
Our biggest goal has always been player immersion.
We're trying to keep everything as believable and realistic as possible.
So we cranked up all the material responses, feel accurate, feel realistic. You know, you'll get gloss, you'll get crud and mud. And no one of those
Yep.
things is all that sexy, but when you layer in just a little bit more, you know, responsive to light, a little bit more
That's what I was
responsive to
saying,
glare,
like, it
things
looks
will
so much
part,
better.
Water will pool. Layer in all these different things, the world becomes much more alive. It feels like a real place. And then when you're feeling like a real place and you feel in danger, now your run matters.
I look back at some of the alpha shots, and it's kind of hard to tell when it's sunny or when it's rainy. Weather feels like weather now. But like when it's sunny, you get this really nice like bleaching effect. It feels bright. It feels like warm when it's sunny now. I feel like we're just celebrating that color so much more. And I think it just contributes to the whole effect.
So we have dead bodies in the game now. We also have like decay on the runners themselves. Like you'll actually see them fall apart. We're actually dropping the body. The body stays there and the body slowly decays over time. as you
Finally.
loot it.
So you come into a room and you see a bunch of carnage, but you see one body is still pristine. You know that their killer is probably close, and you are not.
Oh, that's
safe.
smart. That's
if
dope.
everybody
That's dope.
is just a messy goop, you're probably okay.
Audio is a huge gameplay component in Marathon. Every sound plays a function. Footsteps tell players everything. It's telling you what is
And
the
they over
type
here
of
still
threat
sneaking
that's
around.
Where are
That's
they
crazy.
at? Are they above you? Are they far away? Are they close by? So if I'm in bio research and I hear a particular material type, I know, hey, they're on the second floor and they're in this room. Our hero is the world. So we're constantly trying to figure out where can music help reinforce what is the vibe and intent of this place.
There was the discussion about the interaction between score and sound design. And I wanted to create a score that wasn't just like full of instruments you've heard before. The job was, how can I make what I'm seeing, this race to survival, even more nervous and even more terrifying and or even more thrilling.
Yeah, helps with the immersion. That's dope.
We have 4 zones, and each one of those zones has its own sort of approach to kind of level design and what it asks players to kind of think about and do. You're going to start with perimeter. You're kind of on the outskirts of the colony. It's a little more spread out. You got a little bit more areas to be safe and to sneak around, but it's also a little more straightforward.
It really brings this sense of scale. It sits like in our fantasy as expansion site for the colony on the very edges of where they had settled on Tau Ceti. UESC are also there trying to understand what has happened and secure the area. Death is a part of Marathon. It happens a lot, even on perimeter, which we talk about as a more friendly zone to new runners. You are still gonna die a lot.
Yeah, the AI ain't playing at all.
Attention, unauthorized runner. You are trespassing in a military security zone.
Okay. Okay.
It was really important to us that the UESC were not trivial to fight.
When you face them on Tau Ceti as a runner, you are the outlaw. You are trespassing.
They have a little bit of this haunted tone. So you can see they have this floating locomotion, they get these sparks, they have these sigils over their faces. Sometimes their behavior feels almost like they're possessed a little bit, like are they taking in commands from a remote AI? The elite tier is sort of like this dark blue. The mini boss tier is more like a lilac. The boss tier is just gonna be dipped in red.
Oh,
They have
snap.
these tendrils that latch out and leech onto you and start sucking away at your consciousness.
You're getting into marsh, you're starting to understand something bad happened here, and you're seeing signs of that in a way that wasn't apparent on perimeter.
On Dire Marsh, we've got the anomaly, and it's this strange alien entity that has erupted up out of the ground.
You're really
Map
feeling
design's
signs
pretty
that
fire,
this is
too.
more of an epicenter of where things went wrong on this colony.
It's got a different style of
I can
gameplay.
see how
It's
perimeter
more like
is,
a central complex that
more
is
new.
rich with overlapping areas and regions that you can find yourself kind of bleeding from one encounter to another.
It's a great map to go in when you just want some action, and you're gonna need somewhere to farm.
Each map has different weather systems, it has different dynamic events that can happen, and your approach to them is never going to be consistent.
One of the needs that the design team thought that we should have is more challenging PvE activities.
Each of our zones has these bigger events that don't happen every session, but when they do happen, you'll know they're happening.
Building these types of events into the world shake up your run and make you decide, like, what do you want to risk?
Then you get to
Golly.
Outpost.
There's so
And
many
Outpost
enemies.
is a more functional, thriving UESC facility. There's scan drones flying overhead.
Is this
the
a new
UESCs
map? Have they showed
everywhere,
this?
There's tripwires, there's a weather hazards. It's a lot of stuff you're up against.
Oh, that
from the
looks so
get-go.
sick.
Outpost is a smaller map, but it's also
Sorry,
a lot
y'all.
more vertical. It's built around a specific building that we call the pinwheel.
This is just this meat grinder of a structure that's like a corkscrewed building that has nooks and crannies and hallways, and it just becomes a real, real cluster when you're in there fighting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The floor is raised on Outpost, and nothing is free. The pinwheel hosts some of the
Yeah.
best loot opportunities.
That character's so fly.
But it's noisy, players are going to know you're doing it, so there's extra risk.
I'm gonna need them to have customization. Like shells are cool, but
The character you're going to spend the most time with is the zone. Understanding each personality of every zone. That's the storytelling every player gets.
Every time you're on the planet, you can look up and see the ship floating and looming in the skybox, reminding you of why this place even exists, but also reminding you that something up happened here, and you got to figure out what it was.
Marathon has a lot of loot in it. It's a huge pie. There's a ton of different implants at every rarity. There's a ton of different runner cores for each runner. There's over 400 weapon mods. Like, it's just an outlandish number of items to collect.
There's going to be a really interesting period of discoverability where players sort of figure out what are the pieces that I have available to me, how do I get them, and how do I put them together into something that's awesome.
that was sick. Okay. Y'all got a little bit of flexing, okay. Little flex.
You can go through and look at how many iconic weapons have come from Bungie. And it's something that we really want to hold up and make sure that we're matching that legacy.
Visually, they're
I
all
can go.
really, really distinct and clearly Marathon. But we wanted animation-wise, a majority of them to feel recognizable. So when you put them in your hands, you knew how to use them.
Mods will basically allow you to increase certain stats on the guns, that battery SMG. The gold mod, full-blown, turns it into the needlet.
Oh, that's sick.
The sidearm is a gun that is effective in close quarters, but maybe not too much outside of that.
Dang, he instantly got lit up.
But the gold mod on this gun puts a suppressor on it, and then when I kill something with this gun, I turn invisible.
That's why I
And
need
then
to
that
hear. I
lends
like
it to
stealth.
Other build crafting,
but
if I want to sort of stack into
Yeah. Give me the stealth. I just don't want to run visibility full build, because that's
Even some
annoying.
weapon
That's
mods can
disrespectful.
improve stats and your runner shell's capabilities. So there's lots of different ways to raise the floor of your stats so that you're coming into each run strong.
Okay. Dang, aim, bruh. Oh, snap.
Runner shells are a bioprinted body that you inhabit when you go down to Tau Ceti to scavenge the ruins of the Lost Colony. Each of our launch shells is
The
really an
menu's
archetype of
okay. It's
gameplay.
so, like,
So if you want to play like a frontline tank,
a little stale,
if you want to
maybe?
play a rat character that wants to sneak around, if you want to find those rats, we have a shell for you.
Yeah, that's pretty fire. The little, yeah, that's it.
The idea there is like have a broad spectrum that everyone can kind of find a little bit of a home to, and then we're going to build on top of that.
Cores and implants mold the kit into a playstyle that you want.
So examples of those are like, on Thief, I get a second grapple. On Destroyer, I pull out my Riot Barricade, and as it takes damage, it's actually converting that damage into shield back to me.
That's fire.
And these can be used in combination with each other to shift the gameplay style of your runner kit.
At any point you feel like you don't want to risk anything, or maybe you're down on your luck and you want the opportunity to get back, Rook's your guy.
Rook is a prototype runner shell.
It's a mode where we make it easy for you to just kind of drop into a match that's in progress and run about and try to scavenge as much as possible.
If you are going in solo to a run that's already in progress, you don't have a team, you have a very limited loadout, but you're not risking anything. This lets you kind of get in, grab a little bit of loot, and then bail.
So when you get like a really powerful gun or implant or core, it is unlocking some new space or new challenge that you've never done before, and the loot is helping you reach greater heights.
I need to know, like, what's the end game though?
Faction agents are such a big vehicle for tone and narrative for the world.
Each faction has their own motivations, their own desires, the things they're going to ask you to do.
We've got Traxxas. They're the most powerful corporation in human history. They have
Yeah,
very
them boys are
long
cold.
arms and very deep pockets to kind of get what they want.
So they might ask you to go and find specific weapons or mods.
Congratulations, runner. Your last performance evaluation was rated on track.
If you're a PvP player, one of the factions is called Arachne. They're essentially a death cult. What that translates to is that they're asking you to go and kill other runners.
The sacred thermodynamics of violence.
I don't deal with
Mida
cults,
is all about
but
destruction. They are going to give you grenades, they're going to give you claymores, they're going to let you blow the place up.
And they are
that's so sick.
irreverent and dangerous.
The
They
art
might
style's
ask
so
you
fire.
to upload this malware into a UESC dropship, and as it leaves, it explodes and careens off into the distance.
We have big plans. Explosive, visionary.
Each of
That's
our
so
factions
sick,
has
like
an upgrade
creatively.
tree that you unlock progressively as you gain reputation with them.
And along the way, you're going to unlock these capstones that are these special upgrades. When you unlock that final capstone, you're gaining access to the best stuff in the market. You're getting gold items.
In addition, these faction upgrades can increase your runner's base stats, and those base stat upgrades are permanent for the rest of the season.
that's all I need to hear. All ears.
Access denied.
Darius, you know me. Did you miss your last round of maintenance?
Don't search. Don't tick. Don't question.
Darius?
Access denied.
Hey,
Access
it's
denied.
okay. It's just me.
You're not alone.
The Codex is a suite of achievements, collectibles, audio logs, things that you're finding in Run that we're going to track for you over time. The more you find these items, the more story you're unlocking about them and what their role is in the world, why they're here, who cared about them, why they're as valuable as they are.
I'm repeating myself with these entries, but any fears inherent in the scope of this endeavor seem unfounded.
Within the codex, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can unlock. Runner
I
skins,
need some of these wallpapers.
weapon skins,
Okay.
weapon
Okay.
charms, stickers, emblems,
that's
backgrounds for your profile, and titles.
So it's everything from your first steps on the world of Tau Ceti 4 all the way through to becoming a vid master and taking on the most extreme challenges.
The Marathon ship is the hardest place to survive in this game. And if you're not ready to take your best stuff, well, you're not going to survive.
Okay, okay, okay.
It's like a heist for a runner. Cryo Archive is big in and of itself, but it's also cold. It's also hostile.
It's gonna test every aspect of the survival game. Probably gonna be forced to run into players in ways you haven't been on other maps. You're gonna run into basically every type of environmental threat you have faced before. You're gonna fight a who's who of the highest tier UESC units, and the UESC are there in this presence you haven't seen before.
Okay, yeah. You know, I need
It's really
that
cool
little
because each of the
challenge.
vaults is
I need a
more
little
successively
challenge.
challenging than the next. And that
feel
seventh
like I'm a
vault
rage
is
a
where
lot.
you both are going to get the coolest thing, but also where you're going to learn the most about what happened to this place.
At some point in your journey in Cryo Archive, you might start wondering if the UESC are there to keep you out or if they're actually there to keep something else in.
Okay, okay, okay. Hey, I like the little sneak peek.
I think the thing that I'm most excited about for Marathon is getting into the hands of our players.
The biggest thing I want people to take away from Marathon is that it still feels amazing. It still feels like it has that spark.
It takes all the aspects that I think Bungie is really good at.
Mm.
First-person feel and gunplay, the super deep, crazy sci-fi lore, and it mixes
No
up all
facts.
those things together in a really amazing PvP
Yo,
package.
Bungie, don't
It
fumble.
really comes down to every single discipline that's working on the game. The animation has to be good, the sound has to be good, everything has to be working in harmony.
That's when the
It looks
controller
really good,
fades
though.
away, the screen fades away, you're just immersed in the world.
That is what we're trying to live up to with Marathon.
It is a mad dash. I'm not going to front about that. It's a mad dash to the finish, but that's when you got to put in the elbow grease and the extra sweat and blood it takes to get this done.
Dude, what is
You ready?
this? What is it? 5 people in the extract.
Oh, that was crazy. That's what I'm saying, bro. Marathon, aesthetically, okay, March 2026, we could do that. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I want to say aesthetically, this game looks like really dope. I'm really hoping that they just learn from their past mistakes because Bungie, a lot of stuff was a money grab and it's annoying. Like Destiny is still one of my favorite games. But on the PvP side, because that's what I mainly did, yeah, they just kind of let us down. So I'm really hoping Marathon, gives that the feel that PvP players need. So looks good. I'm excited. Y'all be safe. I'll see you on the stream. Watch me on Kick or Twitch at Watch Your Flank. Peace out.